there, everybody. This is another service announcement brought to you by Shady Entertaining. Hello, everybody. This is Shady Entertaining, and I'm pissed off. That's right, I'm angry once again, guys. I've been away for a while. I decided to take a week off because me and my wife went on vacation, and sometimes you need some time away from the old YouTube in order to clear the thoughts, clear your mind, become Zen, one with the universe. And so I kind of took some time off for that purpose, and now I'm back and more refreshed and pissed off again. As you can tell, I'm done in my He-Man. And there's a reason I'm done in my He-Man, and that's because I'm trying to be more masculine. This is a more masculine me. Wait a minute, it's not masculine enough. There you go, huh? Nothing says toxic masculinity like some high cuffs, some high collars. There you go. Roll this up. But seriously, guys, I'm kind of annoyed. And the title of this video definitely is I'm done, and I am done. Absolutely done. What am I done with? I am done with Hollywood. Done with it all. I'm so, this week off, I watched a lot of TV and movies, and being home, I watched a lot of cartoons that I wasn't privy to before. Here in Canada, we got something called youth television, which is YTV, and it's where we watch a lot of the cartoons and stuff come from, like Teletoon Network or Cartoon Network or whatever you want to call it. And that's where they played. And I'm watching this because it was one of my favorite channels. I just put it on, and it's just consistently. It's like you can't hide from it anymore. You can't hide from this. And I know my last video I talked about this. I talked about it in my last video. I said, listen, this SJW stuff that we're all going to eventually get together. We were all like at one point in the 70s. Yes, it was all, in the 60s. We were all in an uproar and we came together. And yeah, I still hold true to this. It's just that waiting for that point is where it's getting a little harder. And I can't do it anymore. I'm done. I'm watching these cartoons and it's like one after the next, androgynous boy, an androgynous girl, another androgynous girl. I don't care specifically about. It's just like, and it's one after the next. And these people, they talk about being marginalized and how the world is marginalizing women and putting them into categories and people into categories and marginalizing them. And we need more representation, more female representation, more LGBTQ representation, and more, multicultural representation. And that's fine. But to the point where now there's absolutely no representation of us anymore. And when we are represented, white men, I believe, or even white boys. And here's what I'm trying to say about the cartoons. The white boys are pretty much gone. There's no more boys on television. There's hardly any boy cartoons. But we used to have a balance, We talk about the 80s again, but we used to have a balance. They used to be Gem, they used to be Strawberry Shortcake. Look, there's a reason why I put the girls section with the boys section here, so you can see it. There's balance. Balance in the Force, right? You have to return balance to the Force, where you have girls section here. See, this is my wife. She likes the girls stuff, and I like the boys stuff. And together we live in harmony. Why? Because she likes what she likes, I like what I like, and we can work together and live together in harmony. And so that's how we designed our place to look. Partly for her, partly for me. Nobody has their way. We all kind of compromise, and that's what it is all about, But that's not what it is anymore, We talk about compromising, and it's no longer about compromising. It's conquest. It's what it is. It's about conquest. And I'm seeing it more and more, to the point where they talk about marginalizing a group of people. And now they're not noticing, but did you notice that there's very little boy? There's nothing for little boys out there. Like me, when I was growing up as a kid. There's hardly anything out there for us anymore. And why? Because they're trying so hard to be pro-feminine, pro-women. And when they say, oh, the future is feminine. Is that not marginalizing a group of people? The future is feminine? I'm going to get to that in a moment, because that was the new, I think what they said, the credo of the new Marvel, Captain Marvel movie. The future is feminine. Wonderful, wonderful. We're going to have a giant planet of Amazonian women. And they're not even real women, they're just Amazonian women. When I say Amazonian women, I'm talking about women that are all masculine. So we're all going to be this androgynous masculine woman in the future. Because that's what they want. That's what seems to be the agenda here. Being feminine is out the window now. You can't be a girl. You can't like girly things, because the evil empire, man, we're the ones who conned you guys into liking men and boys, we conned you guys somehow into liking us. I don't know. Normally women would walk around liking nothing, liking little kittens and liking each other. Otherwise, if it wasn't for us evil men walking around forcing women to like boys, somehow this is unnatural now. It's unnatural for women to like men now. This is absurd. We're living in an absurd time. And I know that this is gonna pass, because I said it in my last video, but I don't have to stand for it. I don't have to watch it, and I don't have to participate in it, and I'm done with it. I'm done. I'm sick and tired of this, because, you see the She-Ra cartoon I watch a channel called Clownfish TV often. Go check them out. They're good. They're fun. And they've been harping on the whole She-Ra controversy for a while. And I was on the fence for a while about She-Ra, because where I mentioned to you before I was not going to give the Thundercats reboot a chance, I was, on the other hand, going to give the She-Ra reboot a chance, because at first glance the She-Ra reboot didn't seem to be insulting me. Whereas the Thundercats Roar, and that wasn't even just about the animation style and all that stuff, it was the tone of the show, was how they were coming at you, telling you that the runners of the show were coming out telling you how much they were fans of the show and how much they were inspired by it, and then telling you it's a reboot, and then the trailer comes out and you're like, this is no reboot, guys, this is a parody. And don't come tell me a reboot is a parody, because if you want to parody a show, then you're making fun of it. You're taking the piss out of it. When you're actually honoring a show, you're trying to do it right. You might alter a few things, like Voltron. Voltron altered a whole bunch of things, but we still watched it anyway. Why? Because it was a good show and they honored the original property. They even went as far as to turn one of the characters, which was an original series, Pidge, he was a boy, they turned him into a girl. And I'll get to that in a minute, but just on a side note. And we still liked it, and it's still a popular show, regardless of that. So you can make alterations to a thing and have people still like it. So it's not about the changes necessarily, it's about how it's changed and the con artistry involved. Thundercats Roar was about conning people. It's about telling people it's a hey guys, check out my our reboot. And it's not a reboot, it's a parody. And it was like Mel Brooks coming out saying he's gonna make a Star Wars a movie, and then it comes out and has Spaceballs, only with the title of Star Wars. I think we'd be like a little bit pissed off on that as well. And rightfully so. What you're doing is you're trying to convince me it's a reboot, but you're making a parody. Now, they came out, said they're making a parody of Thundercats. Would I have liked it? Probably not, because I would have been disappointed that I would have liked to have seen a reboot. But at least I would understand if they came out saying it's a parody, that I would be like expecting a damn parody. But don't tell me that something is a reboot and it's an actual parody. Anyway, that's a different story. This, however, isn't meant to be a parody of She-Ra. This is meant to be a reboot. And so when I saw the trailer, and I was a fan of She-Ra. In fact, when I went to go see the movie The Secret of the Sword in the 80s, I remember my mom taking me to that movie. I remember falling in love with She-Ra. And here's the thing, not the way that they thought we loved She-Ra. This is what really bothers me. And this is one of the reasons I said I'm done. Because when I watched She-Ra, I didn't look at She-Ra as a sexual object when I was a boy. Okay, even I was probably entering my teens at that time. When it came out, I was probably, old enough to notice girls and like girls. So, that movie came out in 1985, I was liking girls, so I was getting close to junior high, so I was definitely liking girls. And so when I saw She-Ra, I didn't go, oh my gosh, she's so sexy and hot, and I just wanted to be her boyfriend or do anything, sexual with her. That's not how I thought of her. In fact, what I asked my mom, this is honest to God the truth, what I asked my mom after I watched She-Ra, the movie, I went to my mom and I said, Mom, can you make me a little sister? That's how I felt after watching that movie. And then She-Ra, to me, because that was the whole premise of She-Ra. She-Ra was the younger sister that He-Man never knew he had, that he wanted to discover and find. And then He-Man met up with She-Ra. She-Ra at the time was working for the Horde. She was lost. She didn't know herself. And together they found each other, and then He-Man gave her the sword to become powerful, which was handed to him from the sorceress. So a woman gave He-Man the power, and then through extension, the sorceress gave He-Man the power to give to the sorceress. So it wasn't a man handing her the power, it was the sorceress, female figure, handing He-Man the power, and the female figure sorceress handing She-Ra the power. So don't give me this, it was about female, it was the sorceress handing the power. Always was. He-Man just handed over the sword. The relationship between them wasn't a sexual relationship, it was a sister-brother relationship. And when I watched her, I didn't watch her with sexual overtones. I watched her because I thought she was my sister. I looked at her as a sister. And that was me as a boy. That was me as a almost going into teens kind of boy, like 12, 11. That's how I was watching that movie, thinking of her as a sister. Okay? Now, this is why this is relevant today. It's because there was an article, and watch, like I said, Clownfish TV, they had it posted there. I'm not going to read it because I want to give them any form of accolades or anything. Just bottom line is that this is the whole thing. They put out a trailer and then of the show, and which the trailer looked fine, looked okay. I'm not even hating on the trailer. Here's what they were saying. The thing that got me was they said that a lot of guys were against the show because they're not able to ogle her boobs. And I'm paraphrasing. I know there was more to it, but that's the gist of it. Was that they believe the men were against the show, which is a lie. Because the truth of the matter is more women were against the show than men. So right there, they're lying just to fill this stupid narrative again. And they're saying that men were going to ogle She-Ra because that's what they did in the past. Boys were just ogling She-Ra because she had boobs. Had nothing to do with that, okay? Women are the ones who are upset that She-Ra looks more like a girl because She-Ra's supposed to represent feminine. She's supposed to represent woman. Women power, remember? Women powerful? No, if you're making her androgynous looking, well, who does she represent? And I don't know who's doing it. Is it the SJW's thing, or is it just the networks who are trying to fill in every demographic so that we all make money? I don't know, and I don't care anymore. I'm done trying to figure it out. And here's the thing, it's consistent. It's consistent, this narrative, that if something comes out that people do not like, they right away go on the attack, and it's at our expense. It's always us. It's always the men. Now I'm being called a pervert. I innocently watched She-Ra as a kid because I thought she was like a sister. Now I'm being called a perv because I was ogling her boobs. It's not fair. Now another thing that pissed me off is this movie that just came out on Netflix. And it's not just one, if it was just this one, but there's been a few movies like this. This one just kind of bothered me a lot because again, it's running with this whole narrative, this whole theme. Netflix's movie, The Next Gen, that came out. The CGI ripoff of WALL-E. It feels like a ripoff of Big Hero 6, just combined. It had no substance to it. They got a lot of weird themes that they started but didn't go anywhere. It's my little mini review, guys. It sucks, don't bother. It had some decent visuals, but in the end, again, you have this he-she girl who acts more boy than girl, who nobody, like, even just on a personality standpoint, you can't relate to her. Mad and angry. Again, and why? Because her male figure, the man, the father, which is again another attack on fathers, because this is all that's going on now. It's just attack on fathers. Fathers suck. Don't give anything to guys for Father's Day, because all fathers are bad. Because that's what the narrative is. It's more fathers being assholes. And so you have, again, father walks out on her, which, again, I think there was another movie recently that just came out, the Giants one, I don't even care, something about giants on Netflix. And another one where the man walks out, the father leaves, and the daughter gets angry and pissed off, and now she's all boyish. So again, you have this androgynous figure of a male he-she girl, and again, it's another anti-male, anti-father representation, and it's one after the next, and it's okay if you have a person, if you want to write a script about a guy who's a father, but it's becoming to the point where it's one after the next, after the next, after the next. It's just inundating you with just bad daddies. Daddies are evil. White men are bad. White men are evil. It's consistent. More girl power. The force is feminine. Everything is feminine. Girl power. And then there's no girls on screen. It's just this he-she. It's a fake. It's a fraud. It's a front. A lot of F's. The fake front. It's getting out of hand, and I'm done with it, because then the narrative comes out, and if you don't like what you're seeing, you're a racist. You're a pervert. Now I'm a pervert because you don't like She-Ra, and I was willing to give She-Ra a chance. This is the funny part. I was willing to give She-Ra a chance. Until that came out with that statement, I would have given She-Ra a chance. Then you're trying to do the Ghostbuster con job again, and like The Last Jedi and all that stuff, trying to reword and manipulate the words so that we look bad for not liking something that you guys did, and trying to manipulate the language so that it's no longer about the movie or the property or whatever you did. It's more about the politics involved. And I'm fed up with this, guys. I'm just fed up with it, and I'm done. What I mean by saying when I'm done, I'm not watching it anymore. I'm not giving Hollywood any more of my money. I'm not giving Netflix any more of my airtime. Anything I'll watch the old stuff, but I'm not watching any new stuff. I'm not paying for a damn thing in the theater. I'm done. I'm sick of this, because if you want my money and yet you're still looking me right in my face and you're saying, oh, we're trying not to marginalize people. We're trying to stop bullying, and yet you're bullying and you're marginalizing and you're acting more sexist and more racist, and you're not seeing it, and you're trying to manipulate and twist it that I am. Come on, I can't. We gotta smarten up, guys. Stop giving them the money. I'm done. My collars are up. My collars are up, man. That means I'm pissed. When Wonder Woman came out, there wasn't all this rhetoric. There wasn't all this anti-male, anti-masculine theme. I mean, there was in fact, the theme of it was more like an inclusionary theme. Of you had this female island that was away from everybody, and they were, didn't want to join man, and then Wonder Woman fought to join man and to accept man for all its flaws. That was a great message, for people. Now you want my kids, like, I don't have kids, but if I had kids, you want me to sit them in front of a cartoon and pollute their minds with this your daddy sucks nonsense, your daddy's evil, your daddy's bad? Why do I want to put my kids in front of the TV to watch that? Why do I want my kids watching Daddy Sucks? Daddy's not a hero. Your dad's a jerk. That's the consistent theme going on right now. It's not just about daddies. It's about men in general. You cannot prop up women anymore without bringing men down. Again, it's about balance, guys. It's about both rising to the top together. You can elevate women and elevate men at the same time. You don't have to throw one under the bus. You don't have to do that. But that's what they're choosing to do. And if that's what they continue to choose to do, then I'm going to continue. Then I've decided I'm not giving them a damn dime. You want to call it a boycott? Call it a boycott. I don't care. I know they're going to reword this because this is what they do. If there is an article going to write about things that I just said, it's all going to be, did you hear Shane Entertainment? He's sexist and feminist and he's anti-feminine and he's all this crap, which is all bullshit. But they're going to say it because that's what they do. They're going to reword, manipulate the things I say, just so that to fill in their narrative that they want to project. And I'm sick of it. The only way to fight this, guys, isn't to get mad, because here's the thing. This rage that I'm coming on with, they're just going to, like I said, they're just going to manipulate it. They're just going to try and reword it and pull out what they want to see and what they want to hear, and they're going to write articles about the bits and pieces that fill in whatever narrative they want to state. So there's no point in getting mad anymore. There isn't. They're just going to twist our words. So what I suggest, guys, is just done. Be done with it. I'm not giving them any more of my money. And this isn't just about guys. This is also for women. Because when did it be offensive to be a girl? When did it be offensive to like boys? Somehow being sexual and liking someone in a sexual way and being sexually attracted to someone is a taboo. They're attacked video games because boys are watching these women in scantily clad clothes. Yeah, because women don't do that, right, guys? Women don't engage in activities that involve, staring at hot guys at all. Nothing at all, right? The whole romance novel industry, at least when men do it, right? They give them a face. When women do it in the books, we're just nothing but torsos with muscles. All these makeup channels that you see on YouTube, that was all men forcing women to do that too, right? We conned all the girls to want to look pretty, to look their best because we're trying to manipulate you into being pretty. I tell my wife all the time, I like you better with no makeup because you're natural and you're beautiful. And I know a lot of guys that tell their wives the same, girlfriends the same thing, but they do it anyway. Someone telling me that it's all because I like girls who wear makeup and blah, 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 and so I'm shaming you, and I'm sorry. Usually I try to make jokes and be funny, but I'm sick of this. I'm sick of the way that we're portrayed, and it's offending me, and I'm done. I am done with it. I am completely done. You're not getting a dime out of me anymore, guys. Hollywood, till you fix this crap, I'm not buying comics. I buy a lot of comics. I'm not buying any more comics. I go to watch a ton of movies. I'm not going to spend a dime in the theater. None. Anything new that comes on Netflix, I'll watch the review first. Cartoons, you're done. Not watching any more cartoons. It's going to be anime from now on, because anime this stuff hasn't creeped into anime yet, thankfully. But other than that, I'll stick to watching old movies the tried and tested and true movies from the past, and I'm done with this stuff until they get their heads out of their asses and right this ship and realize that what you're doing is you're bullying and you're marginalizing a group of people, and you're waving this flag of virtue like you guys have the high ground, which you don't have the high ground. In fact, you're morally obtuse about all of this, okay? You guys are all morally obtuse. Little boys have a right. They didn't do anything to you. These little boys have a right to enjoy things too. Little boys have a right to love their dads and to not look at them shamefully. Fathers have a right to also have a decent representation of who they are. Not all fathers are crappy and assholes. And so when we marginalize, we take the worst of a certain group and we say, and we're going to emphasize that, what are you doing? You're being sexist. That's what you're doing. You're being sexist, and you're stereotyping, and you're being sexist at the same time. You're calling me a pervert, even though you don't even know me, because what? I didn't even say anything about the bloody boobs. I didn't even care. Most guys that I know, when they saw the Shira cartoon, like my brother, we were like, give it a chance. Does she have boobs? I mean, does she look a little masculine? A little bit in the face, but not enough that it bothered me. The way I took it at the time, I wasn't even thinking about that. What I was thinking about was they're trying to turn a woman into a little girl. And I'm like, okay, if they feel like maybe the little girls are gonna relate to Shira better if they're around the same age group, then fine, I can accept that. But I'm seeing it. It's not about that. It's not about that at all. It's about this androgynous thing, which, like I said, Voltron came out with a cartoon. The Voltron cartoon came out where a boy character, a male character, Pidge, you know, he was this little annoying, little whiny kid. He had a high-pitched voice. And they organically did this. They didn't decide to, we're going to just change him out of nowhere. He's going to start the show and he's going to be a girl. No, what they did was they paid homage to what he was originally, which was a boy. And then they made him over the course of the season. He realized it came out that he was secretly hiding the fact that he was a girl. And I'm like, wait a minute, that was kind of a cool twist to the character. I did not think of it. I didn't say you get offended by it. I'm like, wow, that's interesting because I could see it. Did kind of seem a little bit effeminate, and his voice was very high pitched, so it made some sense. And when they did it in a natural way, I was like, huh, we could totally see that if he's hiding it, it might. Now there might be people who didn't like it. I could see that, sure. There's purists, but I actually liked that twist. I liked it because it was new, it was unique, and I enjoyed the change in what they did to it. So don't go saying that, oh, we don't appreciate change or want everything to be the same. It's not exactly that. That's not at all what it is. It's just a well-made show. It's well written. They didn't change the lions too much. They didn't change Voltron too much. They kept to the original theme. They gave and they changed, made it a little more PC, and they did it in an organic way that seemed cool. That seemed like it made an interesting twist to the character that we already knew. So this whole narrative of we're sexist, we don't like change, all that crap, that's nonsense. You're being lazy, you're just throwing out crap to fill in your narrative, and you're doing it in a mass production sort of way, and you're really not even caring about the message you're trying to send. You're not, because in the end, what is the end game here? What is the end game to all this? What, do you want all boys to be shamed? We're talking about shaming all these people, but it's okay to shame little boys. Little boys who in Hollywood are also targets of perverts and things of that nature. They're already confused, they don't know how to act, and now they can't even look up to their dads, and they don't have any representation at all. I am so done with this whole thing, so I'm not giving them my money. And that's my decree, guys. That's my decree. I was trying not to be down on all this stuff. When I made my last video, it was kind of me saying that I wanted to be more positive. And I'm trying to look at things and say, well, we'll come together, but if we don't do something about it, if we don't stand up for this, and I mean stand up financially, because at this point, all the things, the rage that we say, the anger that we display on YouTube, it's all going to be manipulated and twisted. Everything I say today is going to be twisted, and it's going to be altered to fit, their narrative. They're going to say, oh, Shady Entertaining, look at him, he's part of the sexist male masculine hierarchy nonsense. And they're just going to continue to spew that narrative. But in the end, what's going to matter is this. I'm not giving them my money. I'm just not anymore. I'm done. I was going to go watch Captain Marvel, and I'm not. I was going to watch the Shira cartoon and give it a chance, and I'm not. And maybe that's not for me, but that's fine. That's fine, because they can live in this world of heavy competition where you got competition for video games, competition for movies and sports, and other forms of entertainment. They can live in this heavily competitive world with only one small demographic liking their stuff. So more power to you guys, more power to you. But I'm not buying your toys. I'm not doing any of that anymore. That's how we gotta vote, guys. We gotta vote with our money. And people say, oh, I don't believe in boycotting, blah, blah, blah. Something has to be done because I'm sick. Why do I have to sit and watch a movie or a show where I'm being insulted? Not just by the movie itself, but by the narratives that go along with it. The big mouths, the talking heads that are on Twitter, the big mouths on Reddit, the big mouths that are sitting there writing articles and blogs belittling me and who I am to prop them up. I'm not doing it anymore, guys. This is cringy and I can't do it. Anyway, guys, that's all I have to say. It's a lot of things I've said, and so anyway, thanks for watching. Hopefully you're going to be cheered up by the next video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Hit the little bell notification thing that they tell you about so that you can hear whenever I'm coming. And that's it, guys. And let me know. I really am interested to know. Are you fed up Are you fed up with this? Do you want to see change? Because I'm done. I really want to see change. And the only way change is going to happen is keeping my wallet stuffed in here. Anyway, guys,